And today's topic is
inclusion.
Inclusion.
We're talking about inclusion today, guys. We're talking about how to include people into your circle. Maybe you don't even have a circle. Maybe you're just one person and you want to be included in something and you want to be involved. Mm-hmm. And I was just telling Kathy that being vulnerable with somebody when they don't know anybody or accepting people is an invitation to come in and get to know people. Mm-hmm. So when you're that's where I think where my vulnerability comes in. It's like, hi, I'm over here. Like, you can be included. Like, it's cool. Bring your ideas over here. Like, bring yourself, bring your, your talents, bring your, mm-hmm. all your good character with you, right? Mm-hmm. For me, I love being vulnerable for that reason, because some people might not feel like they fit in, mm-hmm. and getting to know people really helps, how do I say this? Like, getting to know people and including them in the things that you're doing in the community or in your personal life or with your friends. Somebody new comes to town and they don't know anybody. It's hard to make friends as an adult, mm-hmm. So
you would think that at our point in life that we've had this friendship thing figured out, but it always, for me, it still always comes back to have good friends, you have to be a good friend.
Exactly.
Right? And mm-hmm. so if you feel like you're not included, sometimes you have to be the one that reaches out. But that does mean, like,
you have risk of disappointment.
Yeah, right? So
because you don't know who you're inviting into your life or into your circle or
if they're going to accept you.
Yes.
Like, they could reject you. Yep. You could be like, hey, it's nice to meet you. And they're like, uh-huh. And then, they've totally rejected you.
Yeah.
So, how do you avoid that? How do you avoid being the person that... It's time for Be Real! Oh, we got pauses.
Okay. Oh, we're back.
So where were we?
Okay. We were talking about including people and being vulnerable to that.
How can you be more inclusive so that people don't think you're cliquey? Or, I mean, obviously...
sometimes you have a good core group of people, right? Mm-hmm.
But maybe not going to invite people to all your social things, but then how do you make sure that if you know somebody needs to be included, what do you do to include them in your life?
Right, without expecting them to reach out to you and expecting that people will reach out to you. Sometimes you need to be the one that reaches out to them, mm-hmm. and invite, mm-hmm. hey, we're doing this, or would you like to come to this? And they're not always going to say yes or make it or have their calendar open for you, whenever. But I mean, the pursuit of trying to invite people is still, it feels good to try to bring people into, your environment, mm-hmm. or introducing them to people that they would be good friends with.
Right.
Right. So many times as grown adults, we feel, and I know this is like, I'm sure that most of you can relate to this, but there's sometimes that you feel like there's so many cliques around you and you don't feel like you're included enough, mm-hmm. or that people are leaving you out when you have shared interests that you want to be a part of things,
right.
and it just doesn't happen. And sometimes, you just have to be the person to
be like, hey, what are you doing?
Lend a hand out,
Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Yeah. Can I join you guys? Most of the time people aren't going to say, no, I wouldn't think. I don't know.
No, I mean, usually they accept the invitation, mm-hmm. unless they're busy or whatnot. But
so sometimes what I'll do, like I have this with friends with kids, mm-hmm. and sometimes the kids are struggling, and I might host a very small event here, mm-hmm. so that more connections can be made. Because I think sometimes making those connections are what will create relationships for the future.
Right.
So I try to facilitate connections on a smaller setting, because sometimes in a bigger group it's harder for that person to feel included in what's going on. So
you've done that several times.
I try.
Or even for me, like you've set up some things, mm-hmm. Which I appreciate. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, even with like personal or business, you trying to set up those relationships with people and making, bringing people together, mm-hmm. is, I think all you can do.
I think for me, when I was little, I was shy and quiet and I didn't have a lot of friends. And so developing friendships was really hard. And somebody actually sought me out to be my friend in like 5th and 6th grade. And she became my best friend all the way through high school and up through college.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't want people to feel that. And so if I get wind of somebody who feels excluded or doesn't know how to include themselves, I try to reach out to them to create a relationship with them.
Right.
And also to see how I can help make connections for them, because I don't want anybody to feel like I did as a little girl. That was really rough.
Right. And I know a lot of friends grew up like that, feeling left out or not, not included. And I know that now as an adult, so I really try to reach out and, hey, how are you doing? Let's do something. Let's, or invite people or whatnot. But yeah, inclusion. I feel like we were going to talk about more about this, but I don't know if we were. Well,
I think we had this whole first conversation before we turned on the camera, and now some of that's missing. I think it kind of comes down to our attitudes on what friendships should look like. That it doesn't have to be small group, and I think it's just important to remind people to reach out.
I think
there are people that need friendships.
Absolutely.
And don't need to, they feel
just
forgotten.
Connections. Just connections, like personal connections.
And in the same vein, just being conscientious of what you're posting on social media, because if there's somebody who is intentionally left out, golly, can you imagine being that person who's been left out? I've been left out before, and I understand, like, I had to let some things go in order to move on past that feeling. But that's
I'm guilty of that. I am very guilty of that. And you're probably saying, as you're hearing this, yes, I see that. Cassandra does that all the time. And I don't mean to. And it's not a jab to anybody. I'm not trying to leave anybody out. I'm just the social media. I'm a poster. So if you're there and I have my camera out and we take a picture, it's probably getting posted. So, but I don't mean, it's not intentional to like leave people out at all. Like that's not my intention. I sometimes even hesitate posting pictures sometimes with other people because I'm like, well, that person wasn't in it. I feel bad. I just saw that person. They just walked by and then I took a picture after, and it's like, I wasn't thinking about taking a picture at that moment, or I wasn't ready or whatever the situation was. But those, like, I understand that. And I don't mean to like make anybody upset or anything. I know everyone wants to take a picture with me, so it's okay. If you want to take a picture with me, come talk to me. It's all good. I'll do it for free. Just kidding. No, but I do question, should I post this because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to hurt their feelings, but I'm a poster by nature. I'm sorry.
But I feel like it's more in line with if you're doing a small gathering of friends where somebody did not get invited or thought of. I think those are more along the lines of where you just have to be cautious.
Right. And sometimes I don't even post like all the things that I do, because I'm like, I'm really into the moment. And I'm like, I don't want to ruin it. I'm just gonna,
that's true too.
I don't want to ruin it. And then that also sometimes makes people, their feelings get hurt because I'm like, they took a picture of that event, but they didn't take a picture of
that's true.
So don't be offended. But I understand how hard it is to see that on social media. Oh, I know social media is hard.
But you and I started the conversation earlier about we have a wide variety of friends.
We do.
And that is on purpose. It's partly of our personalities, but also because we care about so many people.
Right.
And we want to have relationships and friendships with so many people. So I think that's why a variety of people come across your feed, is because you do have lots of friends.
Right. We do have a lot of people in our lives in different situations, which I think that says a lot about people, because everybody is like, oh, they're friends with everybody. Right. And it's because we want to include people. We know that people are good. We know that they, we want them in our lives in some form. So why not? Even if we're only friends on Facebook, or, I have friends on Facebook that I don't even see, but I'm always commenting on their pictures and great job and do this and or not do this, but great job and you look great today and, blah, blah, blah. But it's just, you want to make people feel included. You don't want to make people feel excluded, right? So inclusion, man, include people.
Avoid the click.
Avoid the click. Ooh, hashtag avoid the click. Have a great day.
Go be friendly.